Hello everyone, welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Arctic Wolf, and today we are going to be building a coal power plant. In our last episode, we built an automated facility to build our reinforced iron plates, and we set up an assembly here to make the automated plating. That's what it's called, smart plating. And we put the smart plating in the space elevator and sent it away. Now we need to go into the hub and unlock our coal power. So I have all the stuff I need here. We're going to go ahead and unlock this.
Milestone reached. Coal is an improved alternative power source to biomass and can be fully automated if provided water with the new pipeline buildings and power throughout the initial setup. Coal has been added to the resource scanner. Note: ensure the close proximity of water to the coal production line. Note: pumps will aid in vertical transport of fluids through pipes. Note: throughput and volume indicators are added to each pipe section automatically.
Okay. While I was doing my explorations out there, I did find some coal. And let me just... yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and pick both of these up. Alright. I did find some coal while I was hunting for biomass, and I also found some mycelium, so we can do some more stuff in the hub here. This one should take 3 seconds. Right, and that lets me make biomass out of the mycelium. Okay, I'll get that stuff later. But what I really want to do is do this. And that's going to take 5 minutes. So I'll wait here for this to get done, and I'll see you guys when this is completed. Okay, the MAM is done.
New equipment unlocked.
Sweet. Alright, and I got one more thing. That'll be 3 seconds to research that. Alright. Now I need to go here and build one of these. There we go. Then I can put that here. Alright, I've been wanting to do this since day one, but sometimes you just can't. Hold on, I gotta do some things first. Put that in there. Alright, so if you just right click this thing, and go to your first panel, and edit. I'm just gonna change the default color. Accent color will be like almost a metallic bronze. I really like that. And there we go. Now you can't see it at night because it's all the same color. But it's all blue instead of orange, which is what I'm looking for. Much better. Now it doesn't stick out as much. I couldn't. Anyway, there. Wanted to get that done. Now, next thing I'm going to do is, let's see, we can now ping for coal. I know there's coal that way. It's a long way away. Looks like that coal is closer. Okay. I'm gonna run over there and check that out. See how good it is. Apparently there's 3 nodes over there. I know there's 2 nodes back that way that I've already got a road ran to. Hold on. Before we go getting ourselves into trouble, how about I build myself some kind of weapon that can deal with critters. I should be able to use my current Xenobasher for an upgrade. It would appear I don't have an upgrade. There it is. Okay. Let's set that as our milestone. I'll go grab some copper wire. The pod just got back. I'll be right back with the copper wire. And we'll turn that in and build us a good Xenobasher so we can deal with the critters. We're back here at the hub. I got to turn this in. 25 of those. 200 of those, 50 of those, 25 of them ones, and then 1,500 of those. We'll send that on its way.
Milestone reached. R&D inflated your pocket dimension, added an additional hand equipment slot, and have provided an improved Xeno Zapper with increased strength and range.
Okay. Now, we have this. We can replace. Add 2. We have a 3rd hand slot. That's beautiful. It takes up a lot of space on the screen, but it's better than this one. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck away these items. We're going to grab the food items. Put these away. And then we're going to go back to the MAM and do a little bit more. Okay, here's the MAM. We need to go to... Why is it? Yep, okay, medical properties of mycelia. That's where I'm trying to go. And then 10 mycelia. That's the one. Let's make all of them. There. Now I feel a little bit safer about going out into the wilderness and exploring around. Defend myself, and those nutrient inhalers heal you completely full. Okay. It appears we've found the first batch of coal. There's another deposit that way, and another deposit that way. we've got to deal with a couple of spitters. I'm gonna check the purity on this stuff. Normal. Okay. Normal. Not the greatest deposit in the world. Oh, 4 hits to kill those guys. That's really good. There's another one over there. Let's go get him. Let's go get him. Here we come, whether you're ready or not. Ooh. He hit me once. That's not bad. 1 tick of health for beating 2 of those guys is not terrible. Okay, so we're going to keep this place located. We're going to scan some more. We're going to find this other deposit down around this way. And that deposit. Okay, this is the patch of coal that I mentioned at the beginning when we first started talking about it. And I think it was episode 1 even. I said that the coal was at the end of these archways, right here in the sand. This is the spot I was talking about. Doesn't seem to be guarded by anything. It kind of worries me a little bit. There's nothing here. Oh, yep, there they spawned in. But this is pure. Where'd it go? Okay. This one's pure. How good is this one? Pure. Okay, these are both pure. Oh. Is he a green-faced dude? No, he's a red one. He just looked big and dangerous. Oh, he is big and dangerous. Wow. Got him. And the reward for our battle? More normal coal. Let's go take these guys out. Okay. What's this one looking like? Impure. Does that mean that there's a pure node around here somewhere? Normal. Normal. Where was I getting hit from? Okay. Well, I found a little cave, and I went through the cave, and I started getting attacked, so I backed out of the cave, and I couldn't see where the attack was coming from. I just kept getting hit. I'd move, so I thought I couldn't see anything, and so I was standing there trying to cycle through to my healing, and I died. So now I gotta go all the way back across the desert, back over there to where I was. Go back into that cave with the ghost that attacks you, and just grab my stuff and get out. He missed me. I landed on him. He's still right behind me. Yep. Lost him. He can't get above that. Okay. Okay, so this is a cave I found. And yeah. Something in here can see me, and I can't see it. Oh, there he is. He's glitched in the wall. And he's sitting right on top of my stuff. Whew. Okay, I think he sees me yet. Oh, yep, he does. But I'm guarded here, I think. Nope. Take all and run. Take everything and run. I think I got it. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. We're safe. Okay. Whew. Let's go ahead and equip that. Equip that. Use that. There we go. Okay. That was an ordeal. Yeah. Do you know how I know this area of the map is not finished? Because monsters glitch into the walls and there's floating berry bushes. That you can't get to. Wait, what's that? There's already infrastructure over here. Ow. Somebody's already been building something over here. That's right. This is that last patch of coal that I've found. And this is almost directly, exactly north, south, what would that be, southeast of the base? It is a straight line. Ish. I had to turn the road a little bit. These things. These ones right here, these big bulbous plants with the flowery tops. That's mostly wood, but you get a lot of mycelium from them. And here is where the last bit of coal is located. And unfortunately, these are 2 impure nodes. But combined with all the coal that we have found today, this should be a fairly sizable power plant. Is there any more coal around here? Let's just check. I know about them ones. Yeah, that one and that one. Okay. So that's the 3 nodes of coal in the desert. We're going to bring all of those to a centrally located point, and we're going to grab some water. I can just right up this hill down the road a ways. We got our 2 factories on the right. We put the power plant on the left. Then we can get into some major skyscraper architecture for bigger buildings. Once we get the power turned back on, we've got about how many? Let me see what the inventory is, because it's 2 rows, so that's going to be 18, about 20,000, 10,000 of the smart plating to sink. So that'll be quite a bit of resource sink tickets. Be able to get our handrails and inverted ramps and stuff. Windows and doors, and wall connections for power and all that kind of things. Plus lighting. I forgot lighting is a thing now. We can actually light up our builds. There's a hard drive right next to the road down by our base that we need to go get. I've been putting it off because I've been not able to attack. Now I got the basher. We can go get him. Get that hard drive. Research another recipe. Maybe they'll give us a alternate casted screws recipe. That would significantly reduce the amount of machinery needed for future projects. What I'm not going to do is rebuild existing builds to accommodate new tech. If we're going to do that, we'll just build something new, better, somewhere else, then tear out the old one. We're going to go underneath this building. Yep, here we are. Let's go over to that side first. He didn't stand a chance. We got 2 of them. It's only 1 crash pod though, right? Okay, what do we got here? Some screws. Take those. Oh, reinforced plates. I'll take those. Heavy frame. Modular frame. We'll take that. Hey, what's up you in your mouth? I'm picking stuff up here. Is this the hard drive? E to open. It's operational. It needs 10 rotors. Okay. And then we're going to mark it with a crafting bench. So let's throw this hard drive in the MAM. Oh, yep, my analysis is complete on the scanning. Yep, okay. Hard drive. Scan. Alright, that'll take 10 minutes. I'm going to throw those, everything I found on our exploration into here, which is alrighty. I've got all the resources I need, as you can see on the right side of the screen there, for my 12 coal generators, my 4 water extractors. I think that's the right ratio. I might need 2 more water extractors. Let me go ahead and add those. Still have plenty of resources. And we're also going to need, let me just go to tab, the copper sheets for the pipes, concrete for foundations, iron plate for belts, the iron rods and cables for wires, screws, and I got all the stuff that I think I might need for this project. We have our secondary resources I can come back and get to at any time. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to get all the coal nodes on the map connected together. Well, not on the map, but in this area. All the ones that I can reach with my scanner from here. I'm going to bring all that coal over here up to the top of that plateau right there, that rock formation. We're going to come out this way a few tiles. We're going to bring some water in from back that way by the impure nodes where I got that other setup already. And we're going to build a power plant right there, a big one. Alright, I have been hard at work, and before I go and show you what all I've been doing, let's see what that hard drive gave us for a choice in recipes here. Oh, what do we have here? Alternate blueprint fused quick wire. Now that I definitely said I don't want to use the Carterium to get copper wire, but I am more than willing to use copper to get Carterium wire. Also, we have a copper alloy that uses 10 copper and 5 iron to give us 20 ingots. We passed on that one last time. We have an alternate blueprint for pure iron that uses water in a refinery to almost double our iron. That's pretty good too. It's basically turning water into iron. So it's between these two. I think for practical purposes, this one is just out of the question because we don't have the refinery unlocked for a long time. The foundry is coming up real soon, and we already have the assembler. So as far as being able to do it, the quick wire one makes sense. But we don't have any use for quick wire. We are eventually going to get them all anyway, but I think we're just going to go with this one first. Alright. Okay, now the coal that was over there, I left that alone because I found some more. There's that little bit over there. We'll turn that. We'll use that with some iron to make steel. I'm gonna run this way. This is a very, very long trek. So here we are past. This right here is where the first resource sink setup was at, right? And we keep going. I've done quite a lot of extra out this way. We got a road that basically goes all the way to the edge of the map here. If you follow it that way. But first, I can stand here and show you. We got 3 miners over there. They're not that great. I think it's 2 impures and a normal. It might be 3 impures. Either way, there's not a lot of coal coming from that direction. But it's more than nothing. It'll be enough to fill a 120 belt. So that'll work. Then over here, we just keep running on this road. This road is really long. It's got about Um, 12,000, 15,000 concrete in the road already. And it's just 3 wide paths everywhere I want to go and not get bamboozled by the wildlife. Oh look, we've got coal at the end of our belts here. This is great. This is 2 120 belts of coal coming up here. But we've got up here, we have, wrong button. Up here we have 2 miners on impure nodes. These impure. And this one impure. So because it's impure, we're only getting 30 coal per minute out of one miner, one Mark 1 miner. I do have the power slug, the power shards available, but I'm gonna see what we can do with what we got, and then we'll be able to scale up our production by adding power shards to the miners, changing out the belts, and then adding generators to the power plant. Yeah, power plant. So anyway, this is a 60 line coming in right here, and then that merges with this line here, and makes a 120 that's going out that way. So then this other one here is a 120 already coming from back there. We're gonna follow these all the way back to their origin, and yeah, it's basically just down the shoreline. Almost a straight line. I have to jag that way just a touch at the very end of it to get there, but I ran down here and I did a scan at the end of that, and it pinged over here only a few hundred meters, and I was like, no, I didn't go to that one. So then I ran down here and checked it out, and I was like, oh yeah, there's 2 down here. Alright, so right here we zig this way a little bit, and we zag that way, and then we've got right here 60 per minute. That means it's sitting on a normal node. And then up here, this one's pure, which is giving us 120 per minute. So that's Mark II belting right out from the start. This one is a 60. That one's a 120. And yeah, you know the rest up there. So I've got to run this now. I have to set up the water. And I have to run the water and the coal to where we want the location for our power plant to be. Woohoo! Yeehaw! That's how I get around quick. Could do it faster on the other belt. Yahoo! Do a quick. When you're running and you hit the C button, you crouch and slide, and then you can do a jump. This is not a first-person shooter game, but it has first-person shooter run mechanics, which makes it actually nice for getting around big, huge factories like this. Okay, so I'm going to put some water pumps in right there. They're going to feed up to a pipeline that runs. It'll probably be 2 pipelines with 300 in each. And if we need to increase our output, we can just do that again. We got all the room back there that we need on this lake to get as much water as we need for anything we might ever be doing. I know this is a long way. I'm thinking if I could put the power plant right there and use that water supply, but I think I want to save this for a different project. I like this area for something else, so I'm going to save it. It's a nice area. It looks really cool. I plan on using that look in a future build. But I'm here. We've got, I think it's 3 different miners coming to here, and If I'm not mistaken, we've got a normal and a normal, I think. Yep. And then that one's also normal. So we've got 3 60s down here, which means we can compress 2 of them into a 120. But for now, we don't have the capability to merge all 3 of these lines. So I'm going to push these together into a 120 and then have a 120 and a 60 running up there. It'll meet up with the other 2 120s coming from that way. It'll run over into the factory. And we'll have 3 60 plus another 60. That's 420 coal per minute coming into our coal power plant. Okay, I'm back. I've been quite busy. It's the next day as far as in real life from the end of the last clip, and I worked well into the night last night. I got all of the coal routed and I got the water hooked up, and check it out. Yeah, I think it looks great. We need to go up on the walls on the outside of that, and then we're probably gonna go, I don't know, but that's not enough room. We need to do that 3 more times. So we'll figure that out in a minute, but let's run up there and show you what we're working with. Okay, here we are up at the top. This is where the power plant is. We come over here and look down that way, we can see the other factory. We got our coal coming in from that side, coming in right here. We got our coal coming in from that side, coming in right here. What's going on here is to run 12 power plants, you only need 180 coal per minute. And since this is 2 120 lines, I had to split one of them into 2 60s, and then I just merged this 60 with the 60 that's coming in from that side, so we got 100, the 240 over there and 180 over here. Anyway, we got our water coming in back here. There's a lot of water pumps on this pipeline, a lot, but it's cool looking. I like the way the pipes turned out. We run down here. They made it super easy to install pumps now. Okay, from this point, this is the highest point before we start going down. You can see the water extractors down there at the lake, and you can see the power plant up there at the top of the hill. These pipes go about 1,000 kilometers, or 1,000 meters, a kilometer, maybe 1,200. They're really long. It's like the only spot I have for a good angle. Let's go up here and take a look at this. We're here at the water pumps, and I wanted to show you, these things each produce 120 without being overclocked. 120 output of water per minute. So if I'm trying to fit 300 into a pipe, that means I need 2.5 pumps, because 120 and 120 is 240 plus another 60 will give me my 300. So what I did was I ran the pumps in the water, and then I hooked them all together into this pipe here. It goes out in front of all of them, and then on each side of where the middle one connects, I put my output pipes. That's the simplest way you can do it. Everything that comes through here and comes in from here, and then half of what comes out of there, because that's going to hit a T, and then half of it's going to go that way and half of it's going to go this way. and then it'll mix in right there, and then it'll be a full 300 coming out this pipe and a full 300 coming out of that pipe. And once you unlock the valves, you can put the valves on each side of this connection here and point them in the direction of going away from the center, and then this will never have a problem giving you your 300 per minute. It actually works this way. You don't need the valves, but if you try to go vertical with it, you're going to need a pump after about 3 of the 4 high foundations of height. You're going to need a pump. So we've got our 2 lines, water lines coming out. Our coal lines are right there. If I jump from here to there, I should make it. Yep. Okay, good. Now what I did notice when I was putting this together, let's just go here and just put one of those right there. This is just for instructional purposes basically, but when you put this thing down, the first click you can rotate it this way. Wait, hold on, before you put it down and you scroll, you can rotate it this way. Then you click it down and scroll again, you can rotate it this way. So while it's going up the hill, at every junction I just tip it back this way by 1, so that it's going pretty much the same angle as the hill. I did that all the way up, and then okay, let's see, let's run this up here. This is just a demonstration pipe, so I'll just run this up to its max height here. Alright, and then I did it like that. It doesn't exactly line up no matter how you do it, so I just did it like that every time. It works just fine. But there's something else I wanted to discuss, and I'm going to have to go another length of pipe. Let's just go up to the next knuckle here, grab the pipe, and up to here. It really doesn't matter, but there we go. That's long enough because that gets us up, our foundation's high enough. So they have changed the way that the pumps work. So if I was to put a pump on here, right, and I want it to be facing that way, first of all, you can see the little thing showing you how fast and far the water is going to go. It's just this little ring that shoots out down the pipe. When I lock this pump in place, the first click locks it in place sliding down, but then they gave us the option to scroll wheel the pumps around the pipe. This is amazing. This changes everything about the way these things work as far as building with them, because now you can have your pump at any angle you want. It's great. But the second thing they did was, you'll notice when we come in here and we slap that thing on there and we look up there, you see there's already a spot that doesn't move, and this pump will snap to it. That is the limit of push for the previous pump on the line, if there is one. So you go like this, you're like, oh, and then it snaps. See that? It snaps to that spot. It says, okay, this is where you want to put your pump to get full pressure and maximum distance for your next one. And I just think that's so cool. It's so much easier to work with. It just makes life, it made putting these pumps in, I didn't have any guesswork at all. I knew exactly where every single pump needed to go every single time. And I started by putting it at the bottom of the first incline. So coming out of the water extractors and following this pipe over to here is all horizontal. And these pumps work with something called head lift, which is the way real water works. You understand what the head lift means. Is the top layer, top level of the water is at that marker at the pump, at the top of the pump, which means if you route your pipe under that, it will have full pressure. You only need to go up to a top point, and then everything below that top point will have pressure. So if you can, that's the idea behind the water tower. You get this big huge pipe that goes up into the air, and then you have a storage tank in the air that's higher than anything else you're going to build with your piping. Then you'll have pressure for everything that you're going to work with it. Using that idea, I should put a storage, build a water tower and put a storage bin in it. They gave us the tanks, but I want to use the big tanks, not the little tanks. So that will be coming. Right there. Right there. And we'll use this water to do it. That's way down the road. That'll be used for the big project that's going on that side of the lake. Yeah. I'm going to keep teasing you guys about that and not tell you what it is till we get there. But I have big plans for that spot. Bringing many, many resources across vast distances to get there. Okay, so we've got our 600 water coming in per minute of these pipes right here. Just get on top of the pipe. There we go. Okay, 600 water a minute. You can see flow rate 300 a minute. Current amount in pipe 5 out of 5 cubic meters. That's because it's going from this knuckle to that knuckle. So that's a little pipe. But then this one, 66.4 cubic meters, because it goes all the way up to that pump. And this pump goes up another half a foot, and those pumps, each one will give you a straight vertical head lift of 10 meters. So if you're going at an elongated angle like I am, you can actually get 40 or 50 meters of pipe in between each pump, which is how I did that on that angle and slope. But once I get to there, I don't need to go up any further. So this all just works. Okay, so I did some fancy schmancy belt work, as I always do. Oh, I fell in. I fell in. Let's just go back through here. I'm glad you can crouch between that gap. Okay, now I'm up here and up here. So I had to figure out how to get, because let's see here. I should probably go to the other side, but I can't see the belt work from the other side. These things take 15 coal per minute and 50 water per minute. So I'm running 12 of them. 15, 30, 45, 60. So 4 of them take 60 coal, and then 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300, and 1 water pipe will support 6 of them. Well, that means I need a multiple of both 4 and 6 to make this work properly. And that's how I arrived at 12. I'm feeding 3 different sections of 60 coal per minute into 4 different machines, and I'm feeding 2 different sections of 300 water per minute into 6 machines. So there's an overlap over there where the water from these 2 and the coal from them 2 aren't the same water and coal sources. It's no big deal. Everything gets split evenly. Right? Okay, so let me see how this. Let me show you how this works. We got a 120 and a 60 coming in right there. The 120 is on the bottom one, and it goes into a splitter that split 60 of it over there, and then 60 of it comes up this elevator into this splitter here. And it looks like this is not centered, but it is working. So I'm not that fussed about it. I don't understand how that happened. It wasn't like that when I put it together. It's weird. And to put that back together is going to be just a pain. So I'm good with it the way it is. I'll never see it once I leave this building anyway. It works, that's all I care. There may or may not be a lot of mistakes like that in my builds, most of which don't get shown if they do exist. But okay, so we've got our water coming in on the bottom. It's really hard and really tight to get around in here. I kind of wanted to avoid that, but there's not much you can do with these things getting fed both water and a solid material on the same side. This is just kind of how you have to do it. You're either going to have to elevate the conveyor belts, or you're going to have to elevate the water pipes. One has to go above the other one. There is no other option. And arguably these pipes might be a little bit close to these elevators. There's a little bit of clipping, but it conserves space, so I'm okay with it. Most of the splitters and everything lined up correctly, so I'm not worried about that. Anyway, so we've got our 60s coming in, and each one of these 60s comes in to a splitter. Get up there so I can show you. Ugh. Each one of these 60s comes into a splitter and gets split 30 and 30 into another splitter. And those splitters get split 15 and 15 into the elevators that go directly into the power plants that they're in front of. So it's a tight and compact design that works very well, and you can get a lot of power plants fed the correct number of coal and water in a relatively little amount of space. Like I could have smushed this all over to there, so I could have even kept that line elevated above the pipes. Like when you make your let's see here, when you make your splitters on that level, that's 3 high to get up there. Well, that level where that is at is actually level number 2 in this stack setup, so you could use that level to do a second line if you wanted to, but your elevators can't go that short of a distance. They have to go at least that high, so that's why we're doing it that way. But if you're just using it for transport and you need to split it, that's the second level right there. I just brought it down and out away from this one so that it could go into a conveyor belt and then turn into that down there at that end, and then have the same setup for that end as I had on these two. But this is the 60 line coming in from over there that I had to split outside. But this setup has given us 900 additional megawatts of power. And the new update for mechanics on the power plant is they're always on full tilt. I am always producing at least 900 megawatts. If I'm not using it all, then the biomass burners at base aren't kicking on at all. And then the next step will be to replace the biomass burners with a big stack of batteries, probably underneath this place down in the basement. We'll have a bunch of batteries down here that all the extra power that we're not using gets accumulated into the batteries until they're completely full. That'll be in the future. I'm glad they did that, added batteries, because it used to be they would only take coal if they needed to output power. They would only take water if they needed to output power, and that would mess with your belts backing up if you're trying to use a coal belt for power plants and something else. Like, say I wanted to split into that line and use it for steel. Well, if the coal is not going to the power plants and it backs up, and then it backs up the steel line, it backs up further, it can just cause problems. We don't want that. So I'm glad they changed it. We got to do that 3 more times, but while we got that extra power going now, we can change some things about the way things work up here at base. There's a lot. This is a long road. This 12,000 some odd concrete in just the road itself. That's not counting the 2,000 concrete for that building, and that's going to be like another 4,000 concrete to finish that building. It's just concrete. I need to get more. I need to make a big, huge concrete factory coming off of this side out here, and route all the limestone in the desert to that spot. And we need to get modular frames going so that we can start working on versatile framework. We already got rotors, so a rotor plus cable is automated cabling. So that's our 3 ingredients. We already got the smart plating, the automated wiring, and the versatile framework are the next 3 things in the space elevator. So we need to get working on those. And then we have some stuff to do in the hub, some stuff to do in the MAM. But before we do any of that, I've had this set that's just, these guys are set to do stuff, but they're backed up because they're full. And they're backed up, they're full because this bin is full. We have a full storage bin of smart plating waiting to be thrown away. This is going to give us the amount of tickets we need to get all that extra stuff in the awesome shop that I want. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set these on standby because I don't want them to continue producing. I'm using them as a buffer currently. It's an easy place to come and grab these. Excuse me. I'm using these as a buffer currently because it's an easy place to come and grab these reinforced iron plates, because it's not backed up into the storage bin like the rotors are yet. So we're going to set them all on standby. They're not going to make any more of these even when it empties out, but these will empty out. And this will clean off. And this will empty out. I think we need like 150 or 500 of those for the space elevator. I'm going to run over there and check how many we need for the space elevator. Take that many out of the bin and put them in another storage bin over there, in one of them little personal boxes, so that we have them on hand when we need to do the space elevator thing. Okay, everybody. Well, I made a mistake. Imagine that. I went and I collected the tickets out of the awesome sink here. We've got our 500 that we're keeping, but this is empty, and I collected all the tickets that were in here. I let it continue to run. I turned them back on, and I went over there and I went on a shopping spree and bought a bunch of stuff in the awesome sink before I realized I hadn't pushed the record button. So this is what we got. If I go here, we got walkways. Those that storage bin full of smart plating gave us 19 tickets. So I was able to get wall mounts for our electrical poles, which is going to be handy. The walkways there, and windows. Them three things were severely hindering our ability to build nice looking buildings. And then that was pretty much all I did, but I did it without recording, so I'm sorry about that. I was intending on recording that, but it didn't happen. I forgot to push a button. So, with the new way that the power works, I don't want to go overly big and be making a bunch of excess power. With the new way that it works now, because that's constantly making 900 megawatts, and the base only uses about 500 to run. So there's 400 extra megawatts being made that aren't being used. In the old system, them power plants that were generating that electricity would just not work. They would just not consume anything, and that led to backups. The new system, they're consuming their stuff and they're outputting juice whether you're using it or not. So the idea is to bank it in batteries, and then when your batteries start draining, that's when you know you need a new power plant, and you won't ever run out of power. That's the idea. So the way we're going to run this is I'm probably going to take all this stuff out. We're going to move our initial setup stuff into a building over on this edge of the platform. And move them storage bins up here. Move all the constructors up here. We'll reroute all of the miners that are mining around the area to be running over to there. And then we will have just a building over here with a bunch of storage bins out the front of it that all have all the different things you need in it. And then we're going to continue to run this and sync those smart plating in the background so we can accumulate awesome sync tickets. And the next step in our journey is going to be modular frames. We have a bunch of iron over there on that little cliff side next to that plateau on the back of the desert over there. There's like 9 iron nodes over there. At that amount, we don't even care what purity they are. That'll be enough iron to do what we need to do. We need to get as much iron as we can smelted into ingots and sent over here, because the modular frames take reinforced iron plates and rods to construct them, which means we're going to have to basically build the second half of this building again on this side, plus a little bit extra, because remember, this wasn't making the rods to make the screws, which this other one's going to have to make the rods to make the screws, and then send the leftover rods up to be part of the heavy frames, or the modular frames. But I'm running into an issue. I kind of don't want that building to be between here and the power plant, because I like the look of that. So it'll probably come off after this angled ramp right here, come out over there. Yep, that's where it'll be. So that's next time. That'll be what we're working on next. The power plant, as we expand our infrastructure and build more factories, the amount of power we're going to be needing is going to go up. As that number increases, at every 900 megawatts marker, I'm going to go up a level on the power plant and add another layer to it and go 9 more, which means I need to run more water up to here. So next episode, modular frames right here, There's at least one iron node I know of, like right there. You can see it. Here. Iron. Here, look at him. Well, of course, the one underneath that building pinged. Those two pinged. But there's like 3 or 4 of them right along that edge of the rocks on that, at the end of the sand on the desert. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of them over this way too. Is that iron or copper? That's iron. We're in business. I know I saw one ping right over there too. Yeah, so there's a lot of iron around here. I'll be able to get iron, no problem. Run iron over to here. We'll probably run the belt underneath the road and then do like we did in that building and that building. Elevate it up in from below the floor. And yeah, modular frames. Next episode. Hope to see you there. But if you enjoyed this one, hit the thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the whole series, hit that subscribe button to know when the next one comes out. Thank you all for stopping by. You people are awesome. I love each and every one of you. But you people have a wonderful day. We'll catch you next time. Arctic Wolf out.